Welcome everyone to our quarterly product webinar for eCounsel. Thank you for joining. My name is Melissa Brox and I'm the Manager of Client Success here at Mitratech. Before we get started, I'm going to do a couple of housekeeping items and then I'll introduce you to the CSA program and then we can continue with our speaker, Brad, today. Those housekeeping items are if you have any questions or concerns during the webinar, please feel free to type them into the Q&A or to the chat and send them to all panelists. This way we all get the same message and we can respond appropriately. Additionally, this webinar is recorded and we will send out the recording next week. So as I mentioned, I wanted to introduce the Client Success Program here at Mitratech. This is something new for our eCounsel product line. And this program is based on making sure that our clients are realizing the full investment in their software. Something that we're really passionate about is making sure that we demonstrate all the features and values you have in your software already so that you know exactly what it can do and what it's capable of and make sure that you're realizing that full potential. An analogy that we like to use is thinking about Excel. Excel does a lot of things. You may not know some of the things that it does. And we find that at times our clients don't see and realize the full potential in the features that they already have. So something we like to do is demonstrate some of the high-value areas that our other clients are also realizing some great value in. So what you'll see from us is an opportunity to train you on new features in the software. As you guys are upgraded, new features are released, and we want to make sure to point out those features to you and how they can serve you in your software. Another thing you'll see from us is sharing business use cases, teaching our users how to adopt new areas, and showing them how to configure those areas and training our users on those pieces. We'll continue to conduct webinars as this one, where we talk about best practices and ways to really get the most efficiency of your software. We'll also promote the client support portal. If you don't have access or haven't seen the client support portal, we call it Customer Connect. Please let us know and we can get you access. On that portal, there's a lot of good information like documents, business use cases, the release notes are also there, and you can interact with support on that portal. And we'll go over a lot of that later in this presentation as well. Without further ado, though, I wanted to give you our contact information. So I'll be introducing Brad, and Brad is our Client Success Advisor for the eCounsel product line, and his contact information is here. And then, again, I'm Melissa, and I'm the Manager of Client Success. So I will now toss it over to Brad to get started through the webinar.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for the introduction, Melissa. So I'm looking forward to getting to know all of you and to let you get to know me a little bit better. Here's a bit about me. I was originally drawn to Austin for a graduate program in educational psychology. And now, as the Client Success Advisor for eCounsel, I hope to draw on that experience to develop good educational content like this webinar to help you all get the most out of eCounsel. And so today, we'll be going over how to leverage shortcuts for faster navigation in eCounsel. Then we'll be discussing wizards, and these are tools built into eCounsel that help you minimize human error and automate certain tasks. And then lastly, we'll talk about what to do when something comes up. We know issues happen, that's why we have the support team, and I want to help you all have quick and effective interactions with the support staff. I also want to reiterate that we won't be answering questions until the end, but as they come up, please chat your questions in and make sure to have your function set to chat to all panelists, and we'll make sure to address those at the end. And so here are some of the objectives, what we want to cover in the webinar. I want you to be able to navigate through the eCounsel module fluidly and easily. I also want you to be confident that what exists in eCounsel is the truth and you can count on that. And I also want you to feel confident that support is in the best position to quickly resolve your issues. So again, we're going to start with leveraging shortcuts in eCounsel. We will be going over two types of shortcuts, hotkeys and bookmarks. Hotkeys are keyboard shortcuts that can be used to quickly complete a common task. An example you may be familiar with is pressing Control and C together to copy a selection of text. I'm sure you've all used bookmarks before. For literal books and for websites, you're essentially marking a place you want to come back to easily. Now, before I get into what's available with the hotkey functionality, I want to let you all know that the hotkeys are available in Firefox and Internet Explorer. Unfortunately, the way that Chrome is built, they don't allow for individual websites to have shortcut functionality. Now, what's great about hotkey shortcuts is how easy they are to use. A menu like the one you'll see on the screen there of shortcuts available on the page you're on can be easily brought up by simply holding the Control button. Here is the output of the Shortcuts menu for the People's tab in eCounsel. Again, I brought this up by holding Control. And here I see that I can press Control and I to generate a report very easily. I'll have the prompt to name the report and then quickly output the report there. I don't have a lot of data in my instance, but we see the report there, easily generated with just a few quick key presses and clicks. Additionally, I can hold Control and Shift and X, and that allows me to quickly save the results of a page to an Excel spreadsheet. Another way to easily see what shortcuts are available is to look for underlines. Here is a screenshot from the Matters page, and you'll see the letter N underlined in the word New, and that means that you can hold Control and the letter N, and then the dialog box for creating a new matter appears. Additionally, you'll see a dotted underline under Export. I know it may be hard to see here on the screen, but what that means is that is Control and Shift and X, and then that's going to bring up, again, the data export feature. And we also have Control Y, which brings up the dialog box for copying a matter. And that is a wizard that we will be going over in a little bit more detail later in the presentation. That's a quick shortcut to utilize that functionality. Now, any questions about hotkeys, again, chat those to all panelists. But we're going to start on to bookmarks. The bookmarks pane is visible on many pages in eCounsel on the left-hand side. It can be collapsed and expanded by clicking this arrow. As you'll see in the bookmarks prompt that is brought up there, we can add bookmarks for folders, pages within eCounsel, and bookmarks to external URLs. So here is a standard page. And now by right-clicking in the bookmarks pane, this menu is brought up. And so you can see I can add a folder like you see at the top there, my invoices folder, which I have used to hold bookmarks to invoices awaiting my approval and a list of rejected invoices as well, quickly accessible from the Matters page. I can also have a bookmark folder full of reports. In this way, I can easily run common reports from any page in the application, including the page that I see immediately upon logging in. The Bookmark This Page link is fairly self-explanatory. If you find yourself visiting a section of eCounsel frequently, the next time you are on that page, you can right-click in the Bookmarks pane and select Bookmark This Page, and it will automatically add it to the Bookmarks panel. And we can also create bookmarks to external URLs, so websites outside of the module. And by clicking there, we'll be brought up with this dialog box where we can enter a description for the website. Note the numbering the numbering convention that I've used because the bookmark list is alphabetically sorted, so I can control the sort for certain bookmarks by adding that numbering convention. And then once I've added the description, I copy and paste the URL into that box. Then clicking Save, and then now when I click on the Mitratech blog link, I'm immediately brought to the Mitratech blog. So this is a way to quickly multitask and get to websites that you are accessing frequently. Examples could be an outside counsel website or a link to your email contacts. Now additionally, we can get a little bit more creative, and we can use mail to links, which are commonly found in email signatures. Those are the links that you click, and a populated email is brought up. And so here I can click Save, and then when I click on that link, the next time I do that, I'm going to be brought up with an email that is automatically directed to the email address that I specified using that mail to convention. And I'll be providing more information on that in the handout that I'll be sending next week. Additionally, we can get really creative, and now a big wall of text is going to pop up on the screen, but that's to show you the capability of these external links. And I'll be going over this in more detail in the follow-up. Additionally, if you have questions or would like more explanation on this, please let me know either by email or, again, chatting those in. And so here, this big wall of text, very difficult, almost indecipherable for a human, but extremely easy for a computer to read. So copy and paste that text into the URL. And then when I click on that link, now I have a fully populated email. It has the to, the subject, and the body of the email brought up. So now we are going to be moving on to the next topic, talking about how to use the wizards functionality to increase speed and accuracy of task completion within eCounsel. Again, eCounsel is your organization's single location for everything legal. We want to make sure that everything there is true, accurate, and correct. There's a picture of a wizard. And now in eCounsel, we have the Wizards tab, which can be navigated to at the top of the screen there. And then we have three wizards available. We have a copy matter wizard, which allows you to replicate matter records. We have the global assign, reassign, unassign wizard, which allows you to change, well, to assign, reassign, unassign players to specific matters. And we also have timekeeper file import, which allows you to update timekeeper records. In the interest of time, I'll be going over the copy matter and player assignment wizards, which, again, are both very useful in maintaining data integrity. To run a wizard, we highlight the wizard we want, and then we click Run. So we'll go over the copy matter wizard first. And a couple use cases for this matter, or for this wizard, excuse me, are going to be class action lawsuits where we want each plaintiff to have their own matter. Additionally, we can use this if we are going to be utilizing multiple outside firms to work on one matter. It can also be used in the situation where you have a matter that comes up frequently. For example, employment matters or litigation matters that involve the same players or documents. We can effectively create a matter template that includes the shared basic information to make matter creation a simple and seamless process. So clicking Run will bring up the copy matter wizard, where I am able to then select the matter that I want to copy. Now, one thing to note here is what is going to be copied. Only the fields that you are able to view within your user view is going to be copied, and then cost and time tab are not going to be copied. Additionally, the parent budget tab will not be copied as well. So I select the matter that I want to copy, and then I'm going to be brought up to this page. And here I have the option to copy and create one new matter, or additionally I can create a series of matters. So I can check that box, and let's say I want to create 10 copies of this James Taylor matter. And then I will click the generate name, and then I will populate the matter name and the matter number fields. Additionally, if you are using an automatic matter number generator, the system administrator settings will override this setting here. And then I will fill out the rest of the required fields in the matter, and then any other information that I want to put in at the time. Additionally, I can attach documents and other attachments, as well as assign players to the matter from this copy matter field. Once I have all the information that I want in there, I click copy there at the top, and then I am brought up a dialog box asking me if I am sure I want to create 10 matters. I click yes, and then here we'll see my 10 new matters created, each with that sequence name and matter number there. Next, we will cover the global assign, reassign, unassign wizard. So we will highlight the wizard, click run, and then brought up to this page where I select global reassign, then select next. And here I am able to select the player that I want to reassign, and then select the player that I want to assign in their place. Additionally, I can fill out information for billing as it's applicable, but then we do have required fields here at the bottom, the player type, and the role as well. Those are required. Now, additionally, I want to highlight that we can replace the existing player with the new player for all invoices requiring approval, as well as calendar tasks and calendar appointments. And then I will be brought to a screen where I see the matters that the original player is assigned to, and I can select all, or I can individually select which matters I want to reassign. Then I would click next, and here I am brought up to another confirmation, making sure that this is the action I want to complete. I select finish, then I have this confirmation page, which I additionally can print out to maintain records. Now we'll move on to the last section of the presentation, streamlining interactions with support. Again, we recognize that issues come up, and that's why we have such a great support staff, ready, willing, and able to address your issues. Now the purpose of this portion is to help you get the most value from the support team. Actions that you can take to get issues resolved as quickly and effectively as possible. So here you have two primary ways to get in touch with our support engineers, by phone or by email. When you call in, we'll do our best to resolve what we can over the phone on that call. But for issues that can't be resolved in a few minutes on the phone, we'll create a ticket in the system. Additionally, if we aren't able to answer the call, you can either leave a voicemail or submit a ticket by email. Now, if you do leave a voicemail, be sure to include your name, the company, the product, and a description of the issue, as well as leaving a number and whether you would like a call back if so. Now, whether the ticket comes in by phone, voicemail, or email, the process remains the same. We process the ticket, categorizing it to make sure that it gets in front of the experts in the relevant area, and then we respond with a resolution, or we'll ask for more information. We'll work with you until we get to that resolution, or in rare cases, if needed, we'll be escalating the issue to the right people to make sure that everything does get resolved, regardless of what the issue is. And so here in this presentation, we want to be covering how to minimize this aspect, the inquire for more information step. So let's say you are submitting a ticket to the support team. Let's talk about how to optimize this process. So here's an email to support, simply support@mitratech.com. Now, in the subject line, we want just a brief description of the issue. I'm not going to point any fingers here, but just saying the word issue in all caps does not help us very much. And now, once the subject line is filled out, start the email by letting us know the product name and the version. And yes, we do have access to that information, but it's not always in one place or readily available. And then tell us a little bit more about the problem. What happened before the problem arose, and then send us a verbatim copy of the error message or a screenshot of the program. And then also tell us whether this is affecting a single user or all users or a certain subset somewhere in between. It's also helpful for us to know when did the problem start, and was there any change to the system immediately before that, for example, upgrading operating systems, that sort of thing. It's also helpful for us to know the name and the version of the web browser you are using. And then lastly, any steps that you've already taken to address the issue. That way we can start to really nail down what the root cause is and how to get to that resolution as quickly as possible. And so Justin Kelly is one of our support engineers, and he helped me put together this list of questions. And he was saying, and I'll just provide a quote from him, that this sort of information allows us to quickly be clued into what the root cause could be, compatibility or well-known issues, and this is going to help make the ticket resolution quick and painless. And now, a lot of times when issues come up, it may not be the first time that we've seen them, or they may be things that you are able to resolve independently. And I want to point you to a few of the resources that we have for you available to help you solve your own problems and learn more about eCounsel as a whole. So first, we have the Customer Connect portal. And then we also have the help module within the eCounsel module. And so the Customer Connect portal can easily be accessed from the login page. And now if you need credentials for the Customer Connect portal, all you need to do is submit a ticket to our support staff, and they'll be able to get you set up so you can log in here. And so this is a phenomenal resource for finding answers to questions, new functionality, getting a refresher for different topics, or running through tutorials. And so in the portal, we see navigation tabs across the top. Here we see cases where you can view tickets that you have submitted, as well as an easy way to submit a ticket if you need to. Now here in the Solutions tab, we'll have a record of solutions that we have already provided to other clients. And you can search these to find maybe your problem has already been solved. And so I would click on eCounsel here and say I was interested in this valid player warning messages in invoices. And so here, what is brought up is a page detailing what the issue is, why it came up, and then a detailed list on how to troubleshoot the issue so I can resolve that independently. We also have training videos as a resource in the Customer Connect portal. I can click on eCounsel videos, and here I'll see videos providing brief and quick tutorials on different aspects of the eCounsel application. So for example, if I wanted to review the bookmarks bar after this presentation, I can do so here. Additionally, we have all the product documentation and information hosted here on the Customer Connect portal as well. So I can navigate to the eCounsel aspect, click on My Version, and then here I'll see the technical documentation, installation information, as well as quick reference guides, which can be a great resource for, again, providing those refreshers. So here in the quick reference guide, I can see just some quick information, short PDFs and presentations on Smart Invoice, on Analysis Center, or even navigating and a general overview of the eCounsel module itself. One thing I would also like to add is that we're going to be adding a lot of content to the Customer Connect portal in the coming months. So check back frequently, and if there's anything that you would like to see specifically on the portal, please let me know. I would love to have your direction in providing the content for this resource. Now, we also have the Help module, and this can be accessed from any page within eCounsel. You'll see it in the top right of the page, and you simply click there, and a page is going to be brought up where you will have access to a table of contents of information, a glossary of terms, a search function for the help guide, and I'll showcase the search function here, illustrate how you can look up topics that you may need guidance on. And so sticking with the theme of our presentation, say you wanted a refresher on the bookmarks. You can type that into the search box here, click go, and then this top result here is going to detail all the information that we covered on bookmarks. So that way you can go back to that if you need more information on how to utilize that functionality. Additionally, we can search wizards, and here we'll see more information on the wizards. I can select wizards, get an overview of the functionality in general, as well as nailing down specific information on the individual wizards. Let's say I wanted to get more specific information on what exactly is and isn't copied when the copy matter wizard is used. That information is easily accessed within the Help module of eCounsel. So now to recap what we went over. So we talked about how to use shortcuts and bookmarks. We want to use those to quickly navigate within eCounsel, as well as enable easy multitasking. We also learned how to use wizards to maintain data integrity. By using that copy matter function, we minimize human error and also significantly decrease the amount of time it takes to do tasks. We also went over how to communicate issues to our support teams. We want you to really be able to utilize them as a resource to get problems solved as quickly and effectively as possible. And we also covered the content in the Customer Connect portal and the self-help module, so that way you know where you can go for information when you need to solve your own problems. So now, a few quick tips and tricks, a few basic ways to really utilize what we went over. And I know I spoke to a couple of these while we were going through the presentation, but they're here mainly as a reminder. So you can use the bookmarks to multitask, really utilize the external link function to quickly navigate to websites for outside counsel, email contacts, or any other internal resources. You can also use the external link to create emails to common email addresses. That way you can quickly complete those sorts of tasks within eCounsel. Additionally, using the copy matter wizard with a template matter. And that's going to ensure data integrity and allow you to quickly create matters that frequently have the same players and documents attached. And additionally, we have the Customer Connect portal. And I want to highlight that as a resource, mainly so that way we can learn how to make that a better resource for you all. But right now, it is a great resource for finding quick videos and guides, finding solutions to common questions, and also learning about unfamiliar topics, things that you may not even be aware that eCounsel is capable of doing. And I will solicit one last time, please email me with any topics or information that you would like covered and added to the Customer Connect portal. So now we will be addressing any of the questions that came through during the webinar. Thank you all for your time here. So the question was, does the Customer Connect portal carry an additional cost? And the answer is no. Any user can access it. You do need separate credentials, but we can provide those for any user. All you need to do is submit a ticket. Again, that's an email to support@mitratech.com and simply ask for access to the Customer Connect portal. Another question that came through, when you use the wizard to copy matter, why doesn't the open date auto-change to the current date? And the reason being there that the date may not necessarily be the current date. And so we want you to be able to customize that and make that specific for the individual matters as they are coming up and you are using that copy functionality. Another question that came through, is the Customer Connect portal accessible for both eCounsel and Secretariat? And yes, you're going to have access to all the material that you saw on those links. So eCounsel, Secretariat, solutions, videos, documentation. And so I got one question on how to create the support ticket from the bookmark function. And instead of detailing that now, I'm going to be providing that information in the follow-up document that I send out next week. And again, I can walk through any individual users that have an interest in that on how to take advantage of that functionality. So quite a few questions came through. We're looking through the list to see which are going to be the best to answer now. If we don't get to any of your questions on the presentation right here, I'll make sure to follow up with each of you individually to make sure all the questions do get addressed. A question that came in, can I create and share bookmarks with all of my users? Now that is not possible within the module. We have found that bookmarks are very specific to individual users and very simple to create on their own anyhow. So sharing is not possible because we want those to be specific to each user. And here's a good question. What if I don't know all of the information that you're asking for in that support email? So that is not a problem at all. Send us what you do know. As far as we're concerned, any information is better than no information. That's not a problem. So a few more questions came in asking for more details on the email creation from the links from the bookmarks. And so I just wanted to briefly touch on that. Again, I will be providing more detail in the follow-up. And so here on my page, you'll see I've created the description, email Brad, the CSA, and then in the URL there, I have used that mail to link convention, which is simply mail to, one word, colon, and then no spaces, the email address. And then that is a clickable link, and I can even copy and paste this into a web browser, and the same result will occur, and that is going to allow me to utilize this as a way to quickly populate an email to the email address I specified. And so as we discussed briefly earlier, we also have the capability of pre-populating the email with certain text in the subject line and even in the body. And so this big block of text is another mail to link. It is a bit more complicated. As you can see, if you're following along with my mouse, I have the mail to support@mitratech.com as the email address I want to send to. So if I pasted only that in the link, I'm going to have an empty email pop up. Now, if I did want to add a subject line or a prompt for what the subject line should be, I can then define the subject, and here I've written out a brief description of the issue, and because websites aren't allowed to have spaces in them, the %20 acts as a space. And then I've also defined what I wanted in the body. And so I wanted product name and version. And again, the spaces are separated by %20. And now this is where it gets even a little bit more confusing. The %0D, %0A represents a line break, so bringing it down to a new line. And so on the second line of the module, or of this email, I wanted a more detailed description. And then again, I have another line break, verbatim copy of the error message. And so by appending all of these things together, I get the pre-populated email. For those of you with more questions, please do send me an email directly to me, and I'll go back a couple slides and have my email address there on the page, brad.lied@mitratech.com, and I'll be happy to walk you through how to create specific links for emails that you are interested in. And then again, the supplemental information I'll be sending out, I'll make sure to include a copy and pastable version of that wall of text should you be interested in that or even in modifying that. So a question that came in is, can I change the name of the bookmark? I guess someone saw on my page the list of bookmarks included recently accessed matters and different search views in there. Now, unfortunately, you aren't able to change the names of the bookmarks within the bookmarks panel, but our tip for working around that is using folders to create more descriptive names. And additionally, you can, of course, choose whatever name you would like for the links to external websites. And a follow-up question, how do I remove a bookmark? To remove a bookmark, very simple. All you need to do is right-click on the bookmark and a Remove Bookmark option will appear. So I don't want to keep you all for too long. Again, if we didn't get a chance to address your question now, I will be following up with you individually. And any other questions that you didn't get a chance to ask, feel free to email me as well. And I have a quick reminder that I would like to give to you all, and that is to fill out our biannual Voice of the Client survey. It's an opportunity to share your experience, tell us what we are doing well, how we can improve. We really do value your feedback, and it is essential to guiding our direction. You can provide requests for specific enhancements, how you'd like to be engaged. And so everyone should have received an email with a link to complete the survey. If you have not gotten that email or don't know where it is, please do reach out and we will get you a link where you are able to fill that out and give us your feedback. And lastly, we do have our Interact coming up, which is our user convention. This year it is going to be in beautiful Miami Beach, and this is going to be a great opportunity to network with other users as well as our staff. Additionally, we're going to be having a lot of sessions. Some of them are going to be technically driven, others are going to be driven by use cases and legal operations information, all geared towards helping you get the most out of the application. Also, a great chance to take a little break, have some fun. We'll be having a lot of fun events and social gatherings during the weekend. So I hope you are all able to join us for that. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I would love to meet you all face-to-face. Any questions about Interact? You see Holly Chang's email address. She is coordinating that, and I can also be a resource for directing any questions as well. So with that, I would like to conclude this webinar. Thank you all for attending. It was great to get to share with you these functionalities in eCounsel. Any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to me, and I hope you all have a great rest of the day. Thank you.